Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning. Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the channel. So we are taking a look at another multi-protocol mini 16-channel transmitter. It is the Radiomaster TX12. Yes, it is a mini-sized transmitter, just like the one you probably already have, like one of them jumper T8SG radios. But this one has a folding handle. Yes, so it gets even smaller. It has a removable antenna, so it gets smaller still. Now, which is great for antenna mods, by the way, and it has a RP-SMA connector interface. Now, it supports up to 16 channels, has voice support, and it is officially supported by OpenTX and the companion PC software. Now, it supports the FlySky and the Crossfire modules, and it also has micro SD card support and a large battery compartment, and comes with a battery tray that holds two 18650 batteries. Now, you can also use a 2S LiPo battery with the balance connector. Now, the balance port is right about here, and the SD card slot is right next to it. Now, it does not come with an SD card pre-installed, but the SD card contents will use up about 190 megabytes. So you can use one of those cheap SD cards that came with your old SIMA X5C type drones. Finger grips in the rear for a comfortable grip, and up on top we have the trainer port, a USB-C port for data transfer, simulator connection, and for USB charging. So you don't even have to open the battery bay door to charge up the battery. Now, the power switch will be red while it is charging and will turn off when it is completely charged. But if you want to charge up batteries a little bit faster, solder one of these JST or XT30 connectors on the battery tray and use your hobby grade charger to charge up the batteries. It comes with a 2 dB stick antenna, which is removable and again easily switched out and modded. We have 4 3-way switches. We got slider pots with indent in the middle on each of the sides. We have 2 push button switches, which are momentary switches, perfect for buzzers and timers. So you can free up some of these 3-position switches. We got a speaker grill, and the speaker has good volume.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Now, the gimbals are the potentiometer gimbals and not the Hall sensor gimbals, but they feel very nice and smooth. We got the push button on and off switch. We got the neck strap hook. We got trim buttons here. We got the system button. We got the model button, and we got the return, page forward, page back, and the telemetry buttons. There's the 126 by 64 pixel monochrome 2.5-inch LCD display, which is bright enough even for daytime use outdoors, and the metal menu scroll wheel, which is slightly less taller than the bigger TX16S transmitter, but just as good. It feels really good in the hands, but if you have big hands, then maybe you are better off getting the bigger TX16S. But for small to medium hands, this radio is a good size. I especially like that there is a resting spot for one of your fingers up on top in the shoulder area. Whether you thumb or pinch, it is nice to have a spot up here. So one of the things you will need is an SD card to insert into the SD card slot, loaded with the SD card contents. Now, the SD card contents can be downloaded from the Radiomaster's website in the download section. Now scroll to the TX12 transmitter, click on the factory SD contents, and download the zip file. And once downloaded, open it and copy the contents to the SD card and insert the SD card into the TX12 SD card slot. Now make sure to aim good or you will lose the SD card inside the transmitter, but that gave me a reason to open it up and take a look inside. Now it all looks good under the hood here. The components look solid. SD card and balance port looks good. The switches are good quality with good solder joints, and there's no ribbon cables to be had here. And the wires are all twisted and glued down where it is needed, and nothing looks cheaply made. The throttle gimbal has a tension bar, but no clicker. And the antenna cable is glued down, and the interface is nicely secured so it doesn't spin. All in all, they've done a very good job here, and this transmitter is made of good quality materials. So here's the T12 by Jumper, and it has the external 4-in-1 multi-protocol module, and it also runs the OpenTX software, but it does not have an internal radio. So as you can see, there's no antenna on the transmitter itself. But the TX12 has the multi-protocol module built in, so you see the antenna on the radio itself. So the JR module bay is left open for additional external modules like the Crossfire system. So you can fly other protocol modules with the internal radio and don't have to remove the external module, which is nice. Now the built-in protocol module is the CC2500RF chip. It supports a lot less protocols than the 4-in-1 module. So at first I thought, why give us less than what we are used to? But soon it became clear that most used protocols is still there. The FlySky D8 protocol is still there, and the FlySky D16 protocol is still there. And more pilots are using the Crossfire system, which this TX supports. So if you are like me and use primarily those three protocols, you will not have any issues. But if you use Spectrum or FlySky protocols and some other protocols, then this radio is not for you. So another reason to thin down on the number of chips is to obviously keep the cost down, as reflected by the low $69 price tag. And finally, there are new Radiomaster receivers you can get now, and they support the D16 protocol and the D8 protocols. So this is all you need. Now these receivers I haven't tried out yet, but it does say 1 kilometer range even for the D8 receiver, and it supports RSSI. It is built in. So XM and the XM Plus receivers becoming simply ridiculously expensive. I mean, I bought an XM Plus receiver for $7.99 US at one point a few years back, and now they are almost $20. And never mind about the RXSR receiver, which you may as well just switch over to the Crossfire system with the Nano receivers, or the Radiomaster's D16 receiver, which also has telemetry. So if these receivers are just as good, it is goodbye FlySky. So I got the Emax Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2 with the D8 protocol bound to one of the models, and I've got the X140 Pro with the XM Plus D16 protocol bound to another model that is set up on the TX12. So setting up a new model is easy, but Radiomaster has already set up several models, and one of them is the D8 protocol and another is the D16 protocol. So just choose one of those models that is already set up for you and bind to your quadcopter. Set up the auxiliary switches and you are done. So I couldn't wait to try out the TX12 the other day, so I've already gone and done a test flight with the two quadcopters here with the TX12 transmitter. Link to that video right up here. So setting up the crossfire system is super easy as well. So link to that video right up here also. Now the TX12 can be charged up, data can be transferred, and can be hooked up to your computer for use with a simulator, all using the multi-purpose USB-C port. So to get going, hooking it up to a simulator is very simple. First, go to the system by pressing the system button and page over to the radio setups page. Go all the way down on the bottom of this page, or you can just scroll up to go there faster. Go to where it says AETR on the RX channel order and press on it and change it over to TAER and set that. Exit out and set up a model. And in that model, make sure that the internal RF and the external RF is set to the off position. You have now set up a model ready for the simulator. Now you can set the channel order back to AETR on the systems menu. If this is what you prefer, but TAER is what you need for the liftoff simulator setup for that particular model. Now connect to the computer, start up liftoff, and choose the venue and start flying. And if you are a complete beginner, this will be one of the cheapest ways to get into the hobby and learn how to fly without spending a lot of money buying and crashing quadcopters and buying quadcopters again. But of course, eventually you will have to go through that cycle. And by practicing in the simulator, you will be that much ahead. So that'll do it for this video of the Radiomaster TX12. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.